Fine. Why is this thing doing that?
Because you're connected to audio on both, which is why you were getting that echo.
Well, I can't see my picture.
So Jane, I had to mute you though because you're connected to audio on both devices. It's echoing pretty badly back to us.
Mhm.
So two options. If you
Which one do
on
you
your
want? Yeah.
phone, if you click on the little speaker, you should be that's up the upper right. You should be able to disconnect audio.
She's talking to us.
Can you like fix it so I can
Oh,
see
there you go.
myself on the computer? How do I fix that? I can't see my computer face. I just see my
So,
phone.
so yes, let's fix that for you real quick, Jane.
Thank you.
So I
Thank
think
you.
what might be going on is on your
Yeah.
computer, if you click the little up in the upper right of Zoom on your computer, there's a little icon that looks like four boxes or a white box. If you
Mhm.
click on that, where you change to like speaker view and gallery view, one of the options in there might have hide self view or might say show self view. And
Oh,
when you,
show.
if it says, yeah,
There we
so
go.
now you should be able to see yourself. You just hid your own self from your gallery. So
Oh
now we can see
my.
you and you can
This
see
is a new,
yourself.
so I can close the phone. So, thank you. I mean, do you have a Mac or do you have a Windows?
Yes,
Mac?
I have,
Both?
I have each. I have
I do
both.
too. I don't like Windows much, but whatever. Okay, thank you so much. That helped a lot.
You are
Been
welcome.
struggling with that for a month.
All right. Uh, okay, we're all set here. Let me make sure I've got this right too. Yeah, cool. All right. The first question from Barbara, meeting with people, doing my automations tomorrow. Nice. I'm sure I'm explaining to them exactly what I need from Obvio to go high level. This will also include Replit and connecting the Replit the workflow. Okay. Didn't work properly. Yep. Gonna talk through the steps done in order for Replit to connect to my Go High Level workflow and have a workflow connect to my Obvio. Okay. We're just trying to complicate it as much as you can.
Well, so this was the thing that happened last spring. This past spring was I did one where I had all this happening, where there was no payment and everything worked perfectly. And then 2 weeks later, I was doing the same thing. However, I had a payment connected to it because it was my 3-day event and it never ended up working. Justin worked on this quite a bit with me. I just don't remember if
Yeah,
we
I
came
remember.
up with what the challenge was, what the solution was. I don't know, but I just want to make sure I tell them do this and then they can do it.
Yeah, do you remember that, Justin? I vaguely remember that there was like a tag happening and then a tag over on top of another tag in Go High Level. It was kind of trying to
Well,
re-tag itself or something.
Yeah, so maybe we just walk through instead of the specific how to do it for this exact thing, maybe just walk through the kind of the process flow. Because I think regardless of systems, that process flow will be the same of like purchase somehow needs to put a tag so that it gets into Avio. Like I think maybe Grant, you start there and just kind of walk through what that
I
should
was gonna,
look like, and then maybe we can dive into some specifics.
I was gonna throw the ball back to you on that one.
I was trying to avoid it, as you could tell.
I'm gonna set
So,
some things up for Chuck. I'm gonna get that ready so I
okay,
can show
perfect.
Chuck some stuff.
Yep, you set some stuff up for Chuck, and I will answer Barbara's question in
well,
here.
and Justin,
So
just I wanna let you know the thing that wasn't working was getting their personal dashboard in their email to work. The actual getting them as participants in Obvio was working. It's the other part that didn't work. But anyway, I'll let you just talk, and I'm going to take notes. So I'm going to go on mute so you don't hear me tapping away on my computer.
so let's start with the process, and then we'll dive into a little bit of some specifics for Go High Level. So process wise is once they have purchased, somehow you need to notify Go High Level or your CRM that the purchase has happened. And most likely you're going to tag them with something. I think it doesn't have to be the Obvio tag. Again, in most cases, it's probably not the Obvio tag. Like it'll be a tag like your event name dash registered, like something that just says this is all the people that bought a ticket. If you happen to have multiple ticket levels, then you would also have a tag for each ticket level in addition to just the overall bucket of all attendees. Once you have that happening, whether it's Replit sends a webhook over, in this case, to Go High Level, whether it's you're sending them from doing all your purchasing right from a Go High Level order form, and so that it then Go High Level just knows within a workflow that a purchase happened. And somehow you just have to notify, in your case, Go High Level, that, hey, a purchase happened, and then the workflow takes it from there. And it's up to you at that point to decide how you're going to tag them, and up to you to decide at what point do you add them into Obvio. Now, from the Obvio side, once you have Go High Level hooked up, you go under services, you go under attendees, click the Go High Level, do that connection so that the two are talking, and it'll give you a specific tag that you have to add to each of your attendees. Obvio will give you that tag. Like once you tag them with that, then it's going to add them into Obvio as an attendee. And then what happens from Obvio's standpoint is one of the other config items is you tell it which custom field within Go High Level do you want to write their login or magic link back to. And then Obvio, based off that custom field that you tell it as part of the configs, will write that back into your Go High Level. And then once that's written back, then you can send emails and use that custom field, and you'll find it in the custom field list in Go High Level. It works very similar to like putting a first name on an email. That's just a type of custom, or a custom field is the first name. Your magic link will just be another one of those. So that's the general process. Now there's a few things in there as you go through any of the CRMs just to make sure everything's working right so that you don't get a support ticket surprise of, hey, I never got my link, or you send out an email and the link happens to be blank because somewhere along the way, maybe the link didn't get written or there was a communication issue. Like you want to be notified of that before someone sends in an email and you're trying to do it while you're on stage. So within the workflows, I love to add some steps in there that will wait for that URL field to actually be filled. Whatever that custom field is that you create, and it could be the same one you used for your last event. It doesn't have to be specific to every version of this event. Many times I would make them specific to that event. I would use one for your 3-day event. If you have a client dashboard in Obvio, I'd have a custom field for the client dashboard one so that you're not constantly overwriting it every time they get added to a different event in Obvio. But within that workflow, a little wait step that says wait until this field contains this string. And the string I use is what is the base URL that you can find under event and services for your event. Like in this case, to get in this meeting, it was the update.ovv.io. So you would want to I like to make sure that that is in the field, well, just in case they've attended another one of your 3-day events. And so I don't want to just check to see, does it have something? Because it could have the previous event in there still. Well, I like to check it to make sure it has the current event in there. And then there's a spot in your Go High Level wait statement that says timeout. There's a little toggle that says timeout. And after 20 minutes, if that's not there, I'd love to send myself an internal notification email to say, this user isn't current, this user email address, and I give a little link over to search for the attendees by that email, isn't currently in Obvio. So that you know, hey, it's failed at least once, and maybe you'll go do something with it. I tell it wait another 20 minutes, basically, is the next step after the notification is wait 20 more minutes for that same notification or same condition. And send myself another email if it doesn't happen after 20 minutes, because at this point you're 40 minutes in and most likely something is broken. And then I just put them in a wait state of 999 days. I basically call it limbo because there's really no wait indefinitely state. But you put solid wait 999 days, it's basically a wait indefinitely state. And then what you can do is if they've passed through, like it actually met the condition, you can have it go jump with a little go-to statement and actually have it go and jump to the flow that sends them like a welcome email or whatever you need to do next once they're actually in Obvio. And we have some videos in our help documentation that actually walk through some of that workflow piece that I just explained. Now, I'm sure you've got some questions.
Awesome.
Fire
Yep.
away.
So the first one is, where are those videos? Because I think I'm just gonna, I'll give them this
Yep.
information, but then I'm gonna say, watch these videos. Because I'm giving them access to my Obvio as a whatever, a person that can get in there and do stuff, and a admin type person. I don't remember what it was called.
Yep. I'm going to look for that particular article right now for you. I will drop it in the Zoom chat here for you. For anyone that might be watching the recording of this or the live stream of it, you go to help.obv.io and search for GHL. You'll find an article titled Connecting Obvio to Go High Level. And there's a little walkthrough video where we actually did it on one of these calls, and there's also a little Loom video attached to that as well.
Okay. I still have the Lumen videos that you had made for me, or there's another person helping too that I have all those as well, but it was just easier to start this fresh with my fresh brain. So, okay, then
and
I think, go ahead.
So one of the keys real quick on this is to, if you get those notifications in there, let us know. Well, first off, so that we can go and look to see, is there something going on the back end? And I wouldn't worry about like trying to unlink and relink, like don't do any of those kinds of things without first, at least if it's after hours, send us an email. If it's during the 9 to 5 Eastern time, Monday through Friday, hit up chat and Carl or John will let us know and we can go look and see if there's some errors actually happening.
Okay. All right.
GHL is
Okay.
normally pretty stable, but most of the issues we have with GHL is not on our side. Sometimes GHL will magically expire a token, like we weren't expecting it to happen, or like they basically behind the scenes there's tokens and they expire every so often, like once an hour or something, and it's supposed to do a refresh token, and every so often GHL doesn't do it, or sometimes these CRMs they just get way delayed for whatever reason, and all of a sudden magically like 3 hours later it goes through and none of us did anything at all. And because we're a little bit at their mercy, we send the request for all the hookups, and then it's up to them to actually send us the notification to say this user in Go High Level got tagged or got updated. And once we receive that, then we can go get all the info. But if they're delayed and don't send that to us, we've got no way to know that's happening. And that's what sometimes does happen, unfortunately. And it's not just GHL, all the CRMs are kind of that, fortunately.
Okay. Cool. I don't think I have any notes because as you were talking, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember talking about this. I didn't do the weight thing before. I've seen that though, and I know that you had tried to like talk it through it to me in a Loom one time, and I was like here, and I was like, I'm just gonna screw it. I'm just not gonna do it. So
Now,
but now
the
I
one
remember you
spot
talking about that.
yeah, the one spot you do need a wait regardless, or potentially need a wait, is if you are tagging them to add them to Avio and then immediately sending them an email that says, here's your dashboard. It takes a little bit of time. I mean, it's only if everything's working right, it's anywhere between 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And so you need to at least have a little bit of a wait in there so that it doesn't immediately send the email, because the link will not be populated until they get into Avio, obviously.
No, I have it set up where They won't get it until just, well, actually, it could be for somebody right away, but I have it so they don't get it until 7 days before the event. But I have pre-event emails starting 10 days before. But then it
Perfect.
repeats for each email after that. I'm giving them the dashboard again and again and again. So
Yep.
it shouldn't do that, but I made a note of it, so I'll let them know.
And if you get stuck on those wait states, hit us up and we can definitely help you get through those. Those wait states, it's really, I find them really important to know that something's not right before you start sending all of those reminder emails that actually have the dashboard. Because
Hmm.
kind of sucks as an attendee if you get an email that says, go to the dashboard and there's just nothing after it.
I know. I know. I don't want that to happen. So, yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I think
That's what those
I
wait states help prevent.
okay. I think I'm good. That was really what I needed. I just wanted to make sure I'm giving them I explained it to them once already, but they've never done this before where because I have another dashboard I could be using right within Go High Level in my content hub, I guess. I don't know. I've never used it. But I already know how to do Obvio. I know, well, I kind of don't know how to do Obvio. Clearly, I can't hook it up, but I know how to like make Obvio and have the dashboard ready. So I just want to keep it because my event's in 4 weeks or 4.5 weeks. So I don't want to
And
make
I
another
will say,
one.
because you mentioned it, is Go High Level did release some event portal, event dashboard kind of features recently, and I did play with them. They are for both registration and dashboard, they are nowhere near what you get with Avio.
And
It's more
I
like
didn't think
going to
they,
like a meetup or an Eventbrite
yeah,
where it's like title, a logo, and like a little bit of info and a link and maybe the list of speakers.
yeah.
There wasn't a lot of customization with it. They didn't have any of the reminder emails built in. Like there was no option, so you were still gonna have to do all the workflows, and you get a lot
Mm,
more through event dashboard. It
yeah.
felt like a maybe a webinar-ish style event kind of thing. Like it felt really early when I
Yeah.
looked at
Well,
it.
yeah. What it looked like to me when they showed it to me was more so um, a place where I can house my courses. And then there's just a link on there for them to get into the event. And I would have to go into it and do a lot of things, and it wouldn't look
It
dynamic. It
wouldn't look
wouldn't
great.
look interactive. It
Yeah,
wouldn't look, it's not the same as Obvio. That's why I just told him, I'm
it is
like,
definitely not.
I'm just going to stay with this. And now that I've rejoined Leap, which I'm pretty excited about, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to
Congrats
do it
about
or
that. I
not,
saw
but
that.
yeah, thanks. Let's just hope I can pay for it. Let's hope this 3 day
But
event's good. But anyway,
that's
so
the key.
I know
Like
that I'll have
keep
Obvio.
running the
Hmm.
events, building the audience,
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
those
So
things. And then
yeah.
one last thing for your Go High Level folks, because this one trips up people a little bit. Most of the times in Go High Level, they're in charge of the tagging. In the case of hooking up Avio and Go High Level together, Avio is going to tell them the tag they have to use in order for attendees to get into Avio. And
Okay.
we provide that as the very first field once they get Go High Level hooked up. Very first
Yeah.
field is the tag that they have to use. That just trips people
Hmm.
up sometimes. They think that field, because it's a little bit grayed out, they think that's a suggestion, and it is not as a requirement.
Okay. I'll point that out. I remember where that is. I mean, like I said, I did this before and anyway, whatever. Okay,
It'll come
cool.
back to
This
you.
is all I needed. What's that?
It'll come back to you once you're into it.
Yeah. Hmm. All right, that's all I needed. So thank you all. I'm actually gonna jump out of here because I gotta teach 2 more classes tomorrow and I gotta prep for them. So thank you very much for this, and I will let
No
you know
worries.
how it goes. You'll hear from me if it's not going well, that's for sure. But I'll try to also
That-
tell you when it is going well.
And also
that's why
remember
we're here.
that you can also have team members come and join this call. So if they need to come and join in
Oh,
and ask specific questions, so you don't have to be the middle person, they are
oh,
also
that's a great
welcome to come
idea.
onto this call.
I'm gonna put that in here so I don't forget to tell them that.
And they
Ooh,
can
that'd be
watch
great.
this recording as well, right? So, yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
awesome.
Have a great
Thanks,
day. Bye.
thanks,
Thank
Barbara.
you.
Cool, cool. All right. Chuck is playing around with the Obvio Zoom controller, which is a Mac only app. It's kind of it's really for our mostly for larger events, particularly when we're doing multiple Zoom meetings at once. And so I just spend a couple of minutes with Chuck just to make sure he's got that working, and then we'll move on to other questions as well. Chuck, you said that you got scared off by it a bit because a recording didn't work. Is that what happened?
Yeah, there was one day where I had started my Obvio Zoom controller and used it to start the meeting. It actually ended up being the only one that I had used with a host link to join the meeting. I had
Okay.
noticed that in Obvio Zoom controller, sometimes I don't see the recording controls at the top. I didn't think
Hmm.
anything of it, and we waited overnight until the next day, and it turned out that that day
Just
we
didn't
just didn't
record.
have any recordings. And it may have been that I entered alone. It may have started it on the 45-minute free meeting and then switched over to a paid meeting once my
Yep.
host came in. But I didn't
Right.
even think about that. So I'm assuming it's something having to do with the way it's using the host link, or what it
Uh,
was, or it could have just been a Zoom glitch.
well, yeah, and I appreciate that you understand all of that. I mean, I use it every week for this call, and um, and I can see the record, and it started normally, and all of that was fine. I haven't had that issue, but I totally get the idea that it kind of just ha- gave you apprehension. So that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
so there is
And
one
I
thing
do
that,
see now that I can just go up to the top of Zoom controller and just say open a new instance and maybe
yeah,
even sign in again as a dummy, and that
yeah,
might
you can.
alleviate that type of thing.
Yeah,
so, Chuck, I
I
think
haven't had that problem, but
potentially,
Justin.
yeah, I think potentially what, and we've seen this with just Zoom in general sometimes with the way that we start up the rooms, that sometimes if you click the toggle on the room and then immediately join like, too fast, essentially, sometimes the licensing that's happening in the background
Mm,
doesn't happen. And then so funky things like you get over 100 people or close to 100, and all of a sudden you start getting the pop-ups of add in a large meeting in there, or because we don't do local recordings unless you've turned on that feature, you don't get any recording button at all because you on a free Zoom, you can't actually record to the cloud. But in some
Right.
I've seen that at times in the quick fix for that is literally don't even have to leave Zoom. Just come and toggle off the room, toggle back on the room, and that typically will
relicense it.
retoggle the whatever licensing kind of thing is being set up behind the scenes that you get large meeting and the recordings and all of that stuff. If you ever don't see the recording, I think that's what's happening is definitely the licensing didn't happen, right? So it still thinks you are
Didn't
on
happen.
on a free account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've also got it that yeah, I don't know if you've noticed this, Chuck, now that you can enable local recording in
I
the
did see
uh
that.
yeah,
I typically tell my clients, let's not
don't do that.
rely on the Zoom recording, but if they're not paying me for the storage and the file size of me recording locally, then I just don't do it. And
Fair
this
enough.
happened to be a client that really could have used those day two recordings, but
All right.
they
Yeah,
survived without it.
local recording, the thing that I have noticed is a particular combination. I don't know what the combination is, but it seems there's a couple of those settings that when we set them, the automatic cloud recording doesn't start. And I've got a couple of meetings that are just like that. There's one that I'm the host, but it doesn't automatically start. I can hit record and hit cloud record, even sometimes when local record's not there. So it's almost like it's a combination of or a sequence that's happened that's kicked the auto cloud record off. And so it's worth just double checking that the record is there and you can hit cloud, start cloud record. When you have local record, I'm sure you know this, Chuck, but when you do your local record, you have to have another machine that can enable the cloud record. You've got to start local
Mhm.
record on one machine and then go to another machine and as a co-host and hit cloud record, and then they are both working.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Believe it or not, in our world, it's a lot easier just to have a bunch of hyperdecks.
I was gonna say, like when you can have, it's scraped out and you just have a better recording, then that's a better way to do it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
So I have
so
the newest Zoom controller.
yeah,
Um, I, s-
okay,
I, s- I saw in there that there's a URL to go to.
yeah. So if you go, um, Actually, I can share this. So you'll see it in this meeting. Let me share that in a way that is going to work. Yeah, it's not going to do that. Okay. Need to do more than. Portion. What portion is that? Okay, it's up there. What's that noise in the background, Chuck?
Oh, there's someone talking, and then there's fans going, and
It sounds like
there's
cutting or
a.
something.
Oh, it could be my Bluetooth too. So
Oh, right. It's all right. Okay.
got brand new
We're
AirPod
good.
Pros, so I'm using them today.
Nice. All right. So this is once you've what you went through organizations and going into chat. Um, sorry, going into the event that's open. Um, so um, once you get there, then you get this, and you can hit chat. And essentially, what you're able to do now is whatever areas are there. And as you can see, if you've got an area with multiple rooms, you can choose what you're going to see. And basically, that's showing what you can see here. If I just do this, um, and then you can do a pop out, and you'll get this. And now this, you can create share links as well. You see this? So you can create a link and say what you want it to do, what 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 rooms it can see, and then you can create that link and share that
Oh,
link,
or
right?
just email to the computer or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So then it doesn't need to be logged in necessarily. Um, but
Is that
this
another
one,
window? Because it's not sharing. I'm only seeing the main window is sharing.
really, that's weird. I purposely did a portion of the screen so you could see. Let me try that again. Portion of screen.
There it
You
is.
can't see
Okay.
this. You can see
Now
it?
I can see
Okay.
that. Now I can.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Um, all right. And so if someone Justin, if you put something in the chat to everyone, there we go. Accurate. Uh, Um, so yeah, I mean it's kind of like what we've had before, but it's sort of all nicely built in, and you're not having to run anything else. You've still got some control here about how it looks. Sometimes I want light, and
Yeah.
you know, change all of this to your heart's content. Um, and so, and then you decide whether you want to see all the rooms at the same time, which you probably do. What it also does is it has like a here adaptive slow mode, which actually is really nice. So if you're doing the put a one in the chat if you think this, or put a whatever it is. What it does is it shows a bunch, and then once it's hitting sort of a limit, it just starts dropping them, like just sort of not showing a few of them. So what you're seeing is it's slowing down, but you're always still seeing current messages. You're not seeing old ones.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of dropping a bunch, which works really nicely. Because even if you're saying, "Hey, what word are you thinking right now?" and you get a bunch of random words, you're still getting sort of these most current ones. It's just not going so fast you can't read it anyway.
Cool.
And so that's really nice. I like using that. Um, and then, um, and then of course the other part in here is that you do have. You probably won't be able to see that. Can you see that?
No.
Can't see. No. Okay. That's because it's Zoom sharing back on itself. Um,
Oh yeah.
what you do have in here, so you'll see each one of the computers. Um, Now, ignore some of this because this is all still beta. For those that are watching this going, I have never seen any of this. This is an advanced level move. It's Mac only. It's for enterprise users only, and it's for large scale events where you're doing multiple rooms is really what we're talking about. So if it's not making sense, it's totally understandable, and you can just ignore it. Things like this are still like this is dummy data at the moment. So there's a couple of things, a couple of areas that are not properly connected, but these ones are. So this is really nice is when you can select a bunch of the computers. So you could select all three of your computers or
Mhm.
the three instances on the same computer. And then you can, change these settings, right? So if you were doing a allow people to unmute or, those sorts of things, you can sort of do that in a central location, which is nice. You've got, yeah, you've got like include my public messages. So sometimes you want to do that as the host that's sending messages back in. You'd like those also to go to the output screen so that your talent is able to see what has been posted in there as well.
Mhm.
Or sometimes you want them to not include my messages, right? So that's something there. But then just chat moderation is nice. So link filtering, that will just anything that's a link, it will it will delete the message.
Have you added
Same with email.
screenshot or image filtering yet?
No, no.
Mm.
Although we don't have. Um,
The images won't be in the group chat.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's fine.
But yes, they will be in the room. People can see. And then there's the profanity as well. And so the actual list of of profanity is back in the app itself. But it's
Yeah,
all the
I've
good
seen
ones.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All the
It-
good.
and so that works really well too. Someone puts a cuss word in and it just deletes the message. Do you know what's interesting? Because I have seen where on some shows, people are just they're like um, excited, and it's not like they're being offensive. They're actually just being excited, and they'll use some sort of cuss word or something, and it'll get deleted like they're a terrible person. Um,
Oh,
so you can always decide whether you actually have that on or not. Depends on the type of event that you're running.
well, I'm
Um,
looking forward
so
to it. I got final tests tomorrow, and then this will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
yeah, and
I
so
appreciate this.
decide. You can decide too whether you make the Obvio controller the host. It needs to be a co-host, and then that just makes it work nicer with being able to send messages and all of that sort of stuff. Um, so, but then I don't know, had you played around with the gallery monitor at all in the first
Um,
time? No,
no,
you
not
have not.
really.
So gallery monitor is again, all this is all in beta, but it works pretty nicely where it will look at the gallery view and it will detect if there's someone in the shot or not. Um, and so when you turn this on, what it does is if there's no person detected in the frame, it turns their video off and then it sends them a message and says, "Hey, we noticed that you stepped away. If you come back and you want your camera back on, then just type 'I'm back,' and then we auto send them a start video, um, request to start their video.
And is that where is that just in the meeting controls or
Yeah, so meeting controls, and then you'll see just down gallery monitor um, is a big button on the end. You see that there?
maybe I don't see it
Yeah.
because I'm not in a room right now.
Oh, yeah, that will be it. Yeah, I'll do a screenshot of it and I'll send you it.
Okay.
And then Yeah, so you
I
have
think
a
I did see it in a meeting one time.
yeah, it it's really good. I think we still need to do some tweaking on it. I mean, this whole project was really Blue just went nuts with cursor and it really started
Yeah.
working great. Um, and then he's been doing OB stuff, so he hasn't come back to this for a little while. But I've been using it, and I used it on an event recently, and it worked great. Um, so yeah, can you see that screenshot I put in the main chat, and you
I
can see
do.
there's a gallery monitor. When you open that, you get another screen, and you can toggle a little thing that says auto disable empty cameras. And it's really nice on those larger meetings, particularly when you get people that are sending black. You know, they've covered their camera. They don't want to have their camera on, and they've sent black. Then this will just turn it off. And so it's really good for that. And so in
Yeah.
theory, it means that your first gallery view is has faces. All they're all faces there. It's really
That'll
cool for
work.
that.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have the video all set up for that this time. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Um,
I actually have to drop off because I'm getting all of this ready.
But Chuck,
As you
before
Yeah,
can
you drop,
nice.
see,
two things to be aware of. If it looks like potentially gallery monitor might only work for the host because mine's grayed out of my
Oh, yes,
controller
it
for this
does.
meeting.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Yes, it does only work for host.
And then
Eh,
second thing, if you
sorry,
join an
sorry, Justin,
go
just
ahead.
on that as well, is you'll see in this meeting when I opened the gallery monitor, the only way that it's able to get the gallery monitor is by sending another live stream or using the live stream output. And so you'll see in this meeting, we've now
just
got
like Zoom
two
tiles.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's sending it out that way. So sometimes you don't want people to see, oh, what's this live stream? Live stream is just that it's doing the gallery monitor. So you know that that's what that is. So yeah, and it does need to be hosted.
And then second thing, if you join multiple Avio controllers to a meeting, I think if the host options aren't the same, when that second one joins, it'll turn it on. For like, say you ran it in a welcome celebration and you want people to be able to unmute, and then you join it back to the main stage, it will turn on the ability for people to
Unmute.
unmute on the main stage when that second one goes. And then you'll be wondering why people can unmute all of a sudden, and that would be why.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I have potentially about 1,700 this weekend. It may grow to over 2,000, so we'll see. We might go up to 4 rooms.
Nice.
I don't know,
Sounds good.
but I'll be ready for it.
That's
All right.
right.
Thank you,
That's great.
everybody. Good to see
Awesome.
you.
Good to see you, Chuck.
All
All the
right. Bye
best.
bye.
Bye. Okay then. Back to questions.
And yep, and then I'm gonna jump to the bottom here real quick and
Okay.
answer Deborah's question, even though she's not on the call, in case she happens to watch the recording. I think
Mm.
she had asked how to change her URL for her event. And so for benefit of everyone watching, once you add attendees, you can't change the URL for the event. But if you have no attendees in the event, you can go into the event settings and change it. So Deborah, in your case, you only had yourself as a test attendee. So I removed that attendee and changed the URL for your event for you. So that's all taken care of and working as you wanted it. And you'll just need to recreate yourself a test account.
Good one. All right. Jane. Got
Jane's
questions
got like
galore.
6 questions. Yes.
I
Are they
finally
all
am getting
Obvio
ready to
related?
use, I'm getting ready to learn Obvio. I'm getting ready to use it, so I'm getting ready to learn it.
Okay, good.
Other times I was just listening, but now I'm getting ready.
Did you have
I
your
have to learn it.
you were speaking at a bunch of sessions. Did that all happen?
Yeah, I had to have my gallbladder out last month,
Oh,
and this month I've been sick.
okay.
But I've been doing them online and pretending that I have energy, but I don't. But I've
Okay.
done 8 out of 9.
Wow. They're gone
I
okay?
know. Yeah, They're going great. I mean, I have too much business, but that's a good thing to have. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Who needs
But,
retirement?
huh? What now?
Who needs retirement? Just keep working.
Oh, I know. I'll be working till I got at least 10 more years, probably.
That's great.
Probably. Now they got my gallbladder out. I probably got
Yeah.
about 10, maybe. At least that's what my husband said anyway. He said I got 20 more.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
don't
10
know.
years of work and 10 years of retirement.
No, I'm not ever retiring. I'm like
No,
Dolly.
they're the 20 years of work then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna retire. I can't. I go crazy.
I was sad about Dolly. I was sad about that.
Oh, I know it.
I
I
thought,
know.
and my
I
wife
know
said
she.
it well. She said, I just thought she was immortal. Like she was like, you just never thought that,
I
she was
know.
amazing.
My husband said she had cancer. I didn't know that. I haven't seen
Yeah, I
anything.
didn't know that either.
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's fast.
Um, all right. First one here. How do I use Obvio for one-to-one call? Okay.
Yeah. So I
Maybe
have
don't
my
do that.
thing set up. If you want me to screen share,
Yeah,
want me to?
you can. Look, I mean, have you got your own Zoom account as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, it's an advanced level move to use Obvio for one-on-one meetings.
Oh, it
Um,
is?
well, in the sense that to make it really easy for your attendee to get in and for it to make sense.
Oh.
So there are certain times where people use it and it can be helpful.
Hmm.
But in general, like when so you do one-on-one meetings at the moment just with a standard Zoom account. What is it that you feel like you're missing, or that why you would want to use Obvio for those?
Just because I want to learn Avio better, and
Okay.
uh, I just want to be able to use all the features. But
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, so if we're just thinking about what does Obvio really is like is a home for your event before you get into Zoom. So it really when it comes to one-on-one meetings, you probably want as least at the least amount of friction as possible to get those people to be able to to have a normal sort of business meeting one-on-one. So I would say learning Ovio would be better with team and other leapers and things like that, and to set up some little dummy events is
okay.
a better way to do that than to use your actual sort of business meetings as
Well,
as your testing
Melissa
ground for it.
tried to get me on there. Melissa tried to get me on here set up, but
Okay.
Melinda, Melinda, Melissa, Melinda, Albert, which one?
Why not? Okay.
Anyway, we couldn't do it. She said there was something wrong with my whatever, with my Avio account. It
Okay.
wouldn't do what she tried to do. She said it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said.
Well, it can be. What sort of
Oh,
event, like fast forwarding a little bit, what sort of event would you like to be able to use Ovio for? Is it because you're getting people to sign up and you're doing online events, or
well, like tomorrow, I'm not going to use it tomorrow because I don't want to mess it up. But like tomorrow, I'm going to be talking with like three people, administrators who have access to six schools that
Hmm.
they're interested in my program at all six schools. They're charter schools.
Yep,
And so it'd be nice to if I had something that looked a little bit nicer than Zoom, but I'm not using it tomorrow because I'm not accustomed to using it. And I'm not going to take that chance on six schools messing up.
that's really good. And look, Obvio is really good when you have a larger audience is where it really works well, and you have resources and people have got this sense of an event where it's
Yeah.
okay, I'm coming to something, I've got countdowns that are happening, I can see things,
All right.
on this dashboard. I for something that you're talking about, I wouldn't use Obvio for that.
Okay. Melinda was just like, oh, it's so easy. Why don't we set it up? And I'm like, okay, let's go for it. So I'm like,
The,
but
the shorter
maybe
the
it's
time that you're doing it, the less it makes sense to use
easy
Obvio,
to learn
right?
it
So
from Pedro.
the the longer that the longer that you're doing an event for, the more Obvio makes sense, right? Because
Okay.
you're bouncing in and out of the dashboard. They're accessing PDFs and resources and videos and things like that. That's where Obvio really makes sense. If you're doing a 1-2 hour meeting, something like that, don't use Obvio. Just
Okay.
keep it simple, and people
All
can
right.
just
So
use the
what
Zoom link.
video should I go to that I don't have to watch all 8 to learn how to implement like for one,
It's
like
just a
I will,
walkthrough.
oh, which one?
Walkthrough
Those
video
8
will do
ones?
that.
Oh, the walkthrough and YouTube that y'all
Yeah,
pointed out last week.
yeah,
All right, I'll do that. Perfect.
and get someone
I
else to
won't
do it for you.
about I won't worry about one-on-ones.
Yeah,
Okay,
and Justin's
perfect.
just posted it.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
We're
wow.
getting close to doing another one of those. I think will be worthwhile. But
No, thank you.
um,
And Grant, one of the
okay,
things I
yeah,
did last week that I don't know that we covered is on
hmm
our YouTube channel. There's now a section right on the
All right,
homepage that just
so
has
this
the,
is
Oh,
the
sorry.
walkthrough
Lucian's.
playlist.
That
yeah,
was
So
okay,
blue.
make it a little easier so they don't have to search through everything. I'll just see
nice.
there's like 6 of them in
Sales
there.
page. So for those,
Good one. Um, cool. All right, your next thing you're saying is about your background at the moment. Is that the one that you have right now? No, you're muted now. Hang on. I've just unmuted you. Okay, cool. Going to where your background is.
So let me go to my background and ask and tell me if you think it's too busy um for me because I've been looking at other people and then mine's busier than theirs. So maybe I need a solid, I don't know. I've just got it's so dark here. We're having storms. So I don't even know if you can see. I mean, look. I'll just have a painting and then I've got like these bookcases behind me. So I don't know if that's too much or what.
Uh, I would say it's not too bad, but um, because you've got the camera is actually working quite well on that, and so it's not too bad. What other options
Too
do you
bad.
have?
I want it
If
great. I don't want it like too bad. So what should I have for excellent? Nothing?
well,
Mm.
something, but not not super busy. So
Yeah, it's
um,
kind of
the
busy to me.
what have you got? If you pivot around the other way, is that what have you got?
Uh,
Oh,
Don't,
right.
or you want me to pivot right
Yeah, what
or
else have
left?
you got? Yeah,
I've got a
okay.
file cabinet but I also have a room downstairs that doesn't have anything in it, but it doesn't have any windows either.
Well, that probably
So,
doesn't hurt. In this case, it doesn't hurt. It'll be more consistent. Um,
yeah. And I could take this off. I could put something there
right.
that's different and not have that wall.
I think
So
I think probably what you had there is probably like a 6 out of 10. It's really not that bad. It's okay. Um,
I could take the painting down.
And Jane, in
That would be,
comparison, I think most people are like a 2 out of 10, maybe a
yeah,
3 out of 10 for most people. So a
yeah,
6 out of 10 for not
yeah.
having someone come in and professionally design it and spend a whole slew of money to get a background and all kinds of equipment, 6 out of 10 is going
Yeah.
to be way better than they're probably used to seeing. And it still looked nice. It's like
Yeah.
it wasn't, as Grant said, it's not terrible. Like there's not extra papers. There's not things where it's like, hey, you need to go hide
No.
this. Like,
There's a lot of stuff on the floor you can't see, but would it be better without the painting? Just a blank wall?
I don't mind the painting. I think it
Yeah.
yeah,
looks
I think it
okay.
looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean,
As long as you have it
lose that
centered
But
on the
only
wall.
a 6 out of 10. I'm only getting a 6 out of 10.
You're getting a C.
That's
You're
not
getting a
good.
C. That's satisfactory.
I need a 4.0.
Um, I would move that light that's covering the painting.
This one.
Um, and I would just try to declutter it as much as I could, is really what I'm thinking. Miriam, go for it. What's your question? Jump to the front of the queue.
Okay, thank you. So I am so excited because Mr. Justin James, woohoo, has made me two starts for dashboards. So we got our initial dashboard set up, and then I started thinking, what have I done for a the process that I'm thinking about using is using these rooms on an ongoing basis, the same similar to the way that you are here. And what I was thinking was, well, everyone that comes has to be they get a magic link, right? Can you talk to me a little bit about how the magic link works? Because the magic link means that when I email it, that's how they will come into the event, right? And then just give me a moment here to put my thoughts together. Sorry. So
You okay?
I'll email it out and say, hey, come and join me. Or, and then they come into the room. That means I'll have had the room opened up on the back end. And because this dashboard will be, quote, an ongoing dashboard, does that mean that anyone that can go there can get access to it if that's how I set it up? Do you know what I'm asking? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a
And
bit
Grant, let me catch you up a little
Yeah.
bit on
Yeah.
her dashboard setup. They're currently not hooked up to any CRM. One dashboard has a potential that it could have go high level. The other dashboard is for a nonprofit and uses a system called Neon One, which we obviously do not have it access or do not have an integration for. And the
Hmm.
sign up page is turned on for both of those events. But people could go to just the base URL. And if they haven't already registered, they could go click on the sign up and get into the event. So, at least caught you up.
Yeah. Okay. And so then the emailing out you would do, you're talking about is broadcasting through Obvio, sending those links out. Is that, or are you're not sure, Miriam?
I'm actually not sure. What I have is I have a newsletter list
Okay.
that I'm finally getting myself pulled together so that everything's starting to flow, right? And I want to
Yeah, it's
use
great.
that email list. The email list is a little over 3,000 people. I mean,
Great.
it's a good list.
Yeah, it
So
is.
I'd like to be able to invite them from time to time to a live stream with me where they can ask their questions in the chat or however we choose to do it and have them come in. And that works. I can either send it from the CRM or um, could I go to my social media and say, hey, if you want to join me, here's a link. Can I do
Right.
either one of those?
Yeah, so the sign up page that Justin mentioned does give that ability to that anyone can sign up and then join. So basically they're putting in their first name, last name, and email, and then they get into the dashboard as them. Now, something that's cool about that as well is that even if they're returning the next
Mhm.
week and they went to that page and put the same details in, it won't create another attendee. It already knows that they're, that's Homer Simpson, and so in he comes, right? And so, um, so if it's a free a free thing and you just want people to join whenever,
Mhm.
that's actually a really easy way to do it. Um, the difference is when we're talking about a magic link is where we're saying this is a link that's bypassing that form so that we don't have to ask them for their first name, last name, and email, but the link is unique to them. It has to only go to that person so that this link is for Homer Simpson. And so it goes to him. That's a specific email that's gone to him, and now it works. Now, Obvio can send those, but it gets tricky when it's an ongoing event. Tricky in the sense that the broadcast emails that we have from Obvio are what are called transaction emails. They're not marketing emails. Transactional emails are not able to be unsubscribed from, right? Because they are like, you are expecting this. You signed up for something, we sent you a receipt. You signed up for an event, we sent you the link to the event, right? The problem with ongoing ones is how do they stop? Like if you keep continuing to send people an email every week, it really wants to be on that marketing side, which means it wants to come from a CRM. And so you can see it's the decision tree that we have here that you got to think through, where it's, do I want to send magic links to everyone to make it really easy? If I want to do that, then I need to integrate somehow all of those links back into the CRM into a custom field so that when I send the emails out, it knows each person's magic link and sends it them. So I think what we're talking about here to just keep things really easy, particularly at the moment, just use that sign up link, send that send that in your emails, and everyone just uses that sign up link every time. It's not a big deal to have people go back and put in their first name, last name, and email. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if they're, what is the point of them putting in their first name, last name, and email every time when I invite them to come? Where does that email go?
Their email address is just going in as an attendee into Obvio. And so then we know there's no email that's sent to them. It's just that's kind of their registration details into Obvio. When it's standalone like that, they put those details in. We then know who they are, and that ties them to their account, their attendee account on Obvio.
So what I really could do then, if I'm thinking this through clearly, is have it as we've structured it, the way that I wanted it to have it, so that it's a sort of ongoing lead magnet conversational place, let's say,
Okay.
nice and open and easy. Easy
Yep.
peasy, as I say, easy peasy, super easy. And then
hmm
literally duplicate and have a second one where I say, listen, for this one, I'm going to have a magic link, and I only want the people that are signing up for this specific, let's say, subsection, subcategory of conversation, right? If we
Yep.
look at it that way and say, these are the people that I want to have in this event. And so you really have to sign up for that, and then you would be subscribing to that email. Is that right? In essence? And then you would be able to unsubscribe from that because you're going to be getting the magic link, correct?
Yeah. It's two sort of separate things in that. um, if the magic that in order for someone to unsubscribe, there is no unsubscribe option in Obvio broadcasting. So it
Hmm.
has to come from your CRM. And if you want to send the magic link through your CRM, then you have to have a way for it to get into the CRM from Obvio. And if you're using one that we don't have an integration for, it might have a Zapier connection, so
Hmm.
then you can set up Zapier to connect that for you. Um, and so that can work. Um, it just depends if
I
this
think
extra one that you're doing, the extra one where they're really signing up for something, it could be that you do the broadcast through Obvio and it's okay because they really are. It's not like just on a whim they've signed up to something. It's actually they're being really intentional and they do want to continue to get that email. And you could have more of an old school approach where if you'd like to unsubscribe, reply to this email. You know what I mean? It's just a manual process. It comes back to you and they say, "Oh, I unsubscribe," and you go to Obvio and you delete them. So you can manage it that way, and that way you're not having to integrate it with the other systems. But depends how.
I guess I think that what I'm trying to determine is the best approach to be able to fulfill the ultimate goal, which is to reach people and to have
Mm,
a very easy, accessible, we're not going to be asking them for everything. Here we are, come and join us situation. And then on the other hand, have something that's more controlled where we are getting emails, we are getting people onto a list that are
mhm.
interested in being notified on a regular basis of events that we're holding and what's happening with those events. So those are really two different things that we're talking about, and I don't want to miss the opportunity of both of those as I start to endeavor into this. Because once I
Yeah,
start, I really want to make sure that I understand how the system works so that I can strategize for not today, but get it going for the future.
totally.
Missed opportunity is missed opportunity. So if I start this,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and
Yeah, there's always a balance with all of these systems that we put in place. There's a balance between it being way too manual, taking way too much time, and then the other extreme is that you've automated it all so that it's now you could have 3,000 people coming through every week, and it's all just automated and it all just works. There's a balance to strike because you want to iterate and you want to put some systems in place that is beyond where you're at the moment. So there's room to
yes,
move. There's room to grow. And so I've put this system in place that it can handle. I'm expecting 100 people, but it's going to work really well for 300 people, right? Like I've got that in place. But maybe it's not going to work for 3,000 people or whatever the numbers are, right? That could be 5 people and 10 people and 20 people, whatever it is.
absolutely.
And so finding the balance there of saying, I've got a system in place that's semi-automatic at the moment, and I'm
Hmm.
okay with that. And that's gonna work fine for me for the next 3 months, 6 months, and then I'll reassess, and then I'll do the next step that needs to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's really like finding the
I
balance.
what I love about the Obvio platform and using that as opposed to going live on anything else and using any other platform
Mm,
is that we will be able to walk away from that, 30, 40, 60 minute conversation, and we will have the video, we will have the transcription, we will
mm,
have the notes from the conversation. And then what we can do is take that and use it on all of our social media clips and also put the longer
sure.
length onto the YouTube. And
Hmm.
including the audio can be downloaded and even made into a podcast. So
That's true.
all of that is being done right now so that it's all going to, I want it all streamlined. So the approach that I'm taking with having this with the two, right?
Mhm.
can be managed with a CRM, is what I hear you saying.
It can be. Yes.
All right. I guess I will have to go and talk with Mr. Justin James again a little bit. Um, but the way that I have it right now, I'm not missing any opportunity, is what it comes down to, right?
No, you're not. And I would say that at the moment, using the sign up link might be the just the best way to do it. And that yes, it's a little bit of friction for your attendee, but not much. And it's very familiar to people when they come to a page. It looks all branded and nice, right? It's got your logos and stuff. It all looks great. Just asking them for their first name, last name, and email. Once they do that, then they're in. And I think that that's less friction than having to register for Zoom meetings and stuff that they're used to doing as well, right? So this is a much nicer thing. And I think that that makes the whole process easy enough at the moment because you're sending the same
Once
link to everyone. You don't have to use a
once they've
magic.
signed up, once they
Mhm.
have that initial little sign up, the next time they come there, what happens? They just sign in rather than sign up, correct?
No, it is. If you use that same link, it'll be the same where it is. They just put the same again, first name, last name, email, and they
Every
everyone
time,
can just use the same one. Yep,
every time.
yep.
And then that goes into the back end of Obvio.
Obvio.
And then we have that master list.
Yes.
And if we wanted to send out a blast from Obvio, provided it's
Yes.
already set up, to send them a message and say, hey, we're going into a live. Here we are. Come and join us. We
You
can
can.
do that.
You can do that, and if you do that, then you can include the magic link in that.
Okay. Oh, that's the part that I was not understanding. Okay.
When it
And
comes
then,
from Obvio, it's already there.
right. That's how it works. All right. I'm
Hmm.
kind of getting the understanding of how that flows together now. And
Yeah, cool.
then from there, um, uh, that's where I'd be on the back end writing the message that would go out with the magic link, right? So if I
Correct.
want to say, hey, yeah, okay, I understand now. And so the opportunity, everything is if I'm clear when they initially sign up for what they're signing up for, then I can make it so that they're comfortable with putting their email and names in there.
Yeah, yeah, sending that sign up link uh just makes it really easy from your side to just get that going. You send the same link to everyone. If you are sending a broadcast from Obvio, then um you can you can do things like this where it says these variables, right? So you could put in hello first name,
Mhm.
whatever, and you can then insert login URL, right?
Oh, I
And
see.
that's there. And if you want to get fancy, you can add a button, and on the button, you can add the login link, right? So now the link to that button is the login URL, and you could say whatever, whatever you wanted to say.
Okay. So,
Sometimes you want to make it clear like that. All right. So that's when we broadcast from Obvio, we already know what the login URL is, so we can send it from there. Um, the link that we were talking about, I think you already know, but is when we go to here and to sign up, we have it
mhm.
just here. Copy sign up URL, and for this event that we're in right now, you'll see that it is update.ovv.io/sign up. I think I'm probably already logged in, so it'll skip past it. Actually, that's I was forgetting that. Um, if the person is on the same computer, same device, then it does remember them and does exactly what I just did. So when they click the sign up button, If they'd already signed in a week before, it'll just take them in straight away as them. It remembers them.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. That's where I was trying to think about.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I said
then
that wrong before. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was part of what was
Hmm. But it's
having
on
my
that
thought.
device. It's on that device.
Mhm,
It's on that browser, right? So it's like
mhm.
it's specific to the browser that they've used, and that it's storing a cookie essentially. It's got a little thing there that remembers who they are. And so most of the time, for most people, it would just remember and away it would go. So
So what I could do with my email list is the next time I send out an email, say, hey, I'm going to be starting to do some live events. If you're interested in joining me, here's where to go to sign up through
same
if
link.
I what's
Yeah,
that?
same link. It's the same link, right? So it's only the first time they go there on that computer, it'll be the sign up. Every subsequent time, it's the same link and it'll take them straight there. In essence, it's like they've used a magic link because we know who they are, they've been there before. And
Hmm.
so because of that, you're really it's only that first time that they're signing up that is the little bit of
And
friction.
say someone and say I wanted to have some people from Facebook join. I say, here's the link.
Yeah,
They come and sign up, boom, and then
it's
they're
particularly
there.
good for that. It's particularly good for that because it's the exact same link. People see it straight away. They click on it. They put in their first name, last name, email. They're at the dashboard. They click the Zoom link. They're in. Right, like all of that is really nice and quick if you're
And
wanting
then
to
we
capture
can
people live.
also in Obvio, there will be a full list of all of the emails and everything that we have. We
Correct.
can download it in a CSV or connect it with the Go High level and then
Yep.
make the specific tag that says for that particular event. And then we know that if we want to blast them, that we can send that out.
That's right. You could do it from Go High Level, or you could do it from Obvio at that point.
And then just to be to completely clear, because it
Yep.
wasn't quite, um,
Hmm.
when I do that, because I will get to that point, right, where
Hmm.
okay, now everything's in Go High level, I blast it out, and I say, here we are, come on, join us.
Hmm.
How do they get out of this looping Miriam, harassing them? Hey, come on and join me. How do they get
And
out of that?
that's the importance. If you're sending it through Go High Level, there will be an unsubscribe option at the bottom of every one of those emails. So then that's how they can unsubscribe from that and stop getting those emails.
So just don't send those emails from Obvio. Send them
Obvio.
from,
Yeah.
do not send them from Obvio.
No. So
Send,
the time where we do the broadcast is very handy. Is you're doing a 3-day event and you're telling people we're about to start in an hour, and you're telling people who haven't checked in yet from Obvio, like they haven't been to the dashboard at all, you can send them a specific email to say, hey, we haven't seen you yet. We've just started. We're only 20 minutes in. We haven't, they're all transactional emails, right? That 3-day little window is where you've sent a whole bunch of emails to them, and maybe you've sent them a thanks for coming, email at the end, right?
hmm
And then
hmm
that's um, and then that's it. Whereas when you're doing these ongoing things, it's
hmm
much better to do that through a CRM where they can unsubscribe, but also you're tracking what they're doing as well, right? Like you're able to see their open rates or their click through rate, and it's like
hmm
I'm looking at this person, this Justin guy doesn't look at my emails, hasn't clicked it at all for the last 6 months, right? He's not engaged versus this other person actually are coming every week, right? And so
hmm
now in your CRM, which is the whole purpose of a CRM, is that you're tracking that and you're now able to segment your list down to like these are my out of my 3,000, here's the 100 that are really hot, and that they're really engaging with me. And then here's the 500 that are, somewhat engaging with me. You know what I mean? It's that being able to
Yes.
break that
And
down.
yeah,
That's not what Obvio is.
this
Yeah.
makes so much more sense to me now.
Cool. Good.
And now I can make a plan with
Yeah.
now I can make a plan for where I'm going and what I'm doing. I understand what the process is, what the limitations of Obvio are for my needs right now, and
Yeah.
what the goal is with Obvio for my needs right now, plus going forward into the future. It all makes sense to me. So now I can
Yeah.
just work towards doing that. And it's very exciting. I can't wait.
Oh, it's really it's amazing to watch. I think the thing that's important when we're looking, because we have these suite of tools now, everyone does for our businesses. The importance of it is knowing what each tool is for. What's the purpose of each tool? Because
Mhm.
once you get that clear, then you know that the hammer is for hammering in nails and the wrench is for undoing things. The
Exactly.
problem,
Yes.
the problem, the problem becomes when you say, "Well, I can use the wrench as a hammer, right?"
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, you can, but it's not the right tool for it. And so
No.
you've just got to have it in the right categories. And I think that's what started to happen for you today. Is it's just like, okay, now I can see the buckets that all of these sit in. These are the
Mhm.
toolboxes, and it's like, yeah. So then I use that for that, and I use that for that. And an Obvio is about your delivery. It's about your live experience and about connecting that. But it's not a CRM.
No,
Yeah.
and I've always known that was the case. I had to do a very long drive in this past week, and
Okay.
gave me a lot of opportunity to think. And I was
To
thinking about
think.
audio the whole time.
Nice.
Because what I'm about to do next with the Obvio is going to be extraordinary. It really is, and I'm very excited
That's
by it.
awesome.
We we we've been sitting on social media for months, and I just started to release yesterday. It's going to start coming out, and it's never going to stop now. So that's for the nonprofit. For my
Awesome.
personal brand, I'll get there when I get the nonprofit flowing, and then I'm going to go to my brand, and slowly in the course of the next while here, it's going to be one thing coming just constant now. It's extraordinary. And
So
proudly, I
good.
just would like to share, Grant, that
Mm.
in the last email, which I didn't send out for quite a while, I was shocked that I had what was the open rate there, Justin? It was something like 33% or some it was over 30%. I was
Amazing.
shocked. And
That's
I had a
great.
lot of unsubscribed, and I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
great.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're getting a real picture then, It's like it's all right. It's not the season for that person. And so
Yes.
now the numbers that you have are more accurate, right? It's like
Every
all
time
the
I
yeah, it's great.
I'm enjoying it. So I will be back again
Go
probably
you.
next week because right now is my Obvio formation season, let's call
Good.
it. And
Yeah.
so I have another meeting that I need to jump to, but
No worries.
thank you both. And before I go, I'm just going to take a minute to stop talking and read what Justin wrote here. So, and thank you again. I'll see you next week for sure.
It's great. We're here for you. Well
And
done.
Miriam, I dropped two
Yes.
additional help articles in that walks through how
Okay.
to import attendees from a comma separated file and how to export attendees out of Avio. Since you don't have the
Okay.
integration for your nonprofit with in there, that way you don't have to worry about Zapier right now. You could just export the list out of Neon One, and then it'll walk you through how to import those into Avio. And then
Yeah.
same way, if people do the sign up, you could get them back into your Neon One.
I think I remember, and I thank you for that. That's helpful because I remember that I'm pretty sure that I did a quick search to see if there was a Zapier to make Neon One connect with Obvio, and we could do that. But I don't want to do it in this exact moment because our list is so small, and I'm focused on other things. So this works as
Exactly.
well. Thank you for
Fair
that.
enough.
Okay, have a great day, everyone. See you next
You're welcome.
week.
Bye-bye. Right. Laura, you've been teasing us with your camera coming on and off. I'm like, does she? Does she want to? No, she doesn't.
I'm rebuild
Does she?
I'm rebuilding this week.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to ask?
Well, I'm bringing gear from the basement and from the other room in, and I'm
Nice.
rejiggering. So yeah, so all these little pieces are coming back together. So I figured I will listen while I
Ah,
rebuild.
nice. That's
So
really cool.
yeah.
Nice. I could see your kitchen before.
Yes, you could
I
see my
wanted to say,
kitchen.
I wanted to
And
say,
my
Laura,
entryway is over here. And I actually
Laura,
closed
sorry.
all the curtains in front since it's,
Yeah,
sun is starting to, adjust. So
nice, nice.
I don't know.
I was going to
We'll
say,
get there.
Laura, your kitchen is showing.
My my new lights haven't come yet, but
Okay.
anyway, I'm just playing
Okay,
with
you've ordered
things I
some.
already have. So anyway,
Yeah.
slowly but surely I'm
Look
getting
how
shadows,
excited
or
you
I
are.
had lines on the, like the vibe board, or I'm about to connect it
Right.
so that I can cut over with the A10 Mini
Nice.
Extreme. So getting the road back reconnected. So yeah.
Yeah, do you know, I think it is a key. I think it's a key to doing the events is having the same setup just for your business meetings as well, because then
Yeah.
it's super familiar to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, it does blow people's mind too when you're just in a one-on-one meeting, and then you're like, "Oh, let me just go to the vibe board and I'll, right?" Like it's like, "Oh, what?
Exactly.
What just happened?"
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah,
Well, the
nice.
my youngest started sophomore year on Monday. So now I feel like this room
Wow,
can be used for non-summer activities.
can be
And so
yours.
it's like, yes, yes. So she can go back to homework in the loft and I can
Right?
start to control the light in here. And then I did want to ask one question, and I probably will come back in a future week for this specifically, but I have, right, the kind of these um floor to ceiling, right, type tension
Yeah.
rods. And I would love to be able to have like an over the shoulder shot from a couple different
Yes.
angles. And so I'm looking at like the lighter weight cameras that I have. And I do have several GoPros as well as, old
Perfect.
iPhones, that kind of thing. So I didn't
Yep.
know if there's any thoughts that you could share about, or even just like, I have like 4K. I have some longer HDMI cables, and that's how I did it before. I just ran
Okay.
an HDMI all the way from the A10 Mini so that I could cut
Perfect.
over. But I didn't quite have it, and I had an extra stand for it, but I also had bookcases, and so it was perched on top of a bookcase. So now I'm just trying to figure out, like I've got like, well, let's see. Got it currently plugged in with the light. Like let's see. So like these, right, that I can,
Yeah. Yep.
right, attach around the,
Around the
so
rod. Yeah.
yes, yes. So
Yep.
I think I can kind of like not have to anchor, but I can attach. It's just I need it to be lighter weight. Yeah.
I think you've
Anyway, so
answered
I'm
your
gonna
own
play
question.
around with that, and then I'll come and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna cut over, and is there a better solution?
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't gotten a
So
GoPro connector yet into the A10 Mini. So I don't know if
yeah,
that
as in
exists.
yeah, so it depends on the model of the GoPro as to whether it has the more
Okay.
newer ones, you had to actually
Yeah, I'll go
get
grab it.
you need an attachment for it. You have to pay, it's like a multimedia something something. Um, and that gives you an HDMI out.
And I
So
do
say
have, I
what?
think there's like an attachment on the side of it that I
Yep,
can put so that I have an attachment out. I
perfect.
bought all these accessories, so I think there's a way to do it. We currently had it set up to be on the sailboat so that it could be waterproof and it wouldn't
Okay.
go overboard. But yeah,
So so
it seems
GoPro
like the
Go
lightest weight and the smallest one to put up in like the upper
exactly.
corner. So I don't
It
know,
is
play
really
with it.
good for it. There's a couple of disadvantages. One is that it might be a bit wider than you might want.
Okay,
And so you can sort of push them in because you choose the angle a little bit. And so you
okay,
might be able to bring it in enough where you're happy with it. And then yeah, as long as there's like an extra attachment that you get on those newish sort of ones that gives you an HDMI out. Um, the amazing thing with that is that you could connect it, get power to it, from a USB, get power into it so that and it could just stay on. And like it
Yeah.
uses such little power and you just leave it on and it's just always working, right? Because that's what's
Yeah,
nice
that's what I'm
about it.
going
So
for. Yeah.
you mentioned
Because I'm
about
thinking
the,
about the length of the event, right? So if I need to be able to go 8 or 10 hours, like I have
yeah,
so this one, right? So my Sony
yep,
A6400 with the
beautiful.
16 millimeter lens. So I have like a fixed pipe that's directly
Yep,
behind the iMac that I normally perch it on. Um, so it's attached to the table. It goes up and down. And
perfect.
I still need to figure out how to get the right bokeh with this. So I'll come next week with that setup.
Sure.
I finally found the cable downstairs that is how I can attach it with the dummy battery. So it goes
Okay,
all
great.
day without overheating. So I did get that. Um,
Nice.
and then I put it in a
You're all
box
over it.
and
You're
found it.
all
But
over it. Yeah. The long HDMI cable on the GoPro is great. You
okay.
should be fine with like you get sort of like a 20, even 30 foot, HDMIs, and you can go even more than that. You can go 100 foot, and you
Yeah,
can
I have
go.
100.
Um,
Yeah.
okay,
Because I was
and
going into, we have a full, like large 10-person table that's directly behind this wall. So
okay.
that's great for the quote tech help, right? To
Oh yeah.
physically, so I had these longer HDMI cables so I could come out of this office and I could
Ah,
go directly into the tech. Like I had the Rode and the A10. We had played with when I had this set up and I was closer to that curtain because I wanted the
mm,
gray background originally before I flipped it. Um, it helped because then it just went right under the curtain and all of the button
that's cool.
pushing could happen out there. And then I wasn't teching my own show. That was the key because I was wanting to push the buttons and, cut
Yeah.
over. And that was not a good thing. So yeah, so that's where the really long cables came in. And then the same thing with like being able to
Cool.
hardwire the internet, right? So we have all these crazy cables that we like run throughout the house.
Yeah.
And then we say to everybody, we're taping them down, right? Do not trip.
Should be safe.
Yeah.
Is
So
that the
anyway,
is that is that the only entrance into that space? Is that behind
no,
you
no,
there?
no.
Okay.
So this is the kitchen behind, and
Yeah.
then I don't know if you quite see it here. I kind of have it
Yeah.
closed with the gray curtains,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
there's
Right. 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 Right.
there's an entrance here that is
I
to the
see.
staircase. So like this,
I see.
right, that's the
Right.
stair.
I've
And then
gotcha.
this is the entry, right? So like the front door entry.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You
That's
see, yeah.
cool.
So there's the front door entry. And so it's got a two-story height and
Yeah.
big arched windows. And so I have to control the light coming in here as well as if anybody's
Right.
going up and down to bedrooms. Like
Right.
if I'm doing the event and the kids are like, I want to go to my room, then I've got to keep it so they don't stick their heads in here. What are you
Yeah.
doing, Mom? Or I have to give them a job, or I have to give them a specific role in the event, or they have to be offsite
Or
somewhere else.
or
We
you are not
actually,
allowed in the house.
yeah, for one event, we live streamed from them fishing just down the pond. So I sent them
Nice.
down there. We did a live feed because I was teaching the whole concept, right? Teach someone to fish, right? And then they'll be able to do
Awesome.
it for life. And so it was
Awesome.
the metaphor of, right, they're out there fishing. Anyway, I was just getting some B-roll, but it was fun.
Love
I
that.
mean, it wasn't hardwired, right? So it was risky, but they used cellular connections and hotspots and they
It
streamed
worked.
it in for
Right.
me. So anyway, so
That's
that was how
cool.
I dealt with the boy um having something to do because he was getting antsy and it was time for him to have a job to do. So, but yeah, but you see, like the vibe board and the light, I mean, everything just gets all
Yeah.
wonky as soon as I,
Yeah. It's
open them.
tricky,
But anyway,
but it works fine with that big curtain. That's great.
anyway,
I think
so
you've got all the pieces. I think that the the thing is now that you've got a whole bunch of stuff. It's now deciding why you're doing the things you're doing. I think that's the key,
Yeah.
right? Is that you're like, yes, I can throw a GoPro up. Why do I want it? I want it for a specific reason. I want people to know that I can see them. And so that's
Yes,
an
exactly.
example of you just connecting it where it's like, yes, I can throw all these cables around. I can do all this, but why am I doing it? Oh, because I don't want
Yeah.
to take my own show. Okay, great. Like it, and now it starts
Yeah.
to, you've got reasons behind why you're doing it rather than it could be just cool to do it. Yeah,
You
that's
got
great.
it.
Yeah.
You're all over it.
And that
Alrighty.
GoPro is super handy if you've got a remote producer. Like when I'm remote producing
Okay.
and
Is
logged
that
into
helpful?
someone's systems,
Okay.
that's like, especially when you got an ATEM, because then I can just, a lot
Yeah.
of times I'll run a multi-view into like a capture card so I can
That's
see
exactly what I
everything on
need
the
to
ATEM, and
understand
one
is,
of them's the behind the scenes. Because then I can
yes.
see, are you ready? Or if I send you a message in a
Mhm.
break or I have a talk back, it's like,
Not
give
in
me
the
a thumbs
room.
up if you're
Yes.
ready to go on. And like, I can see the thumbs up without turning on the camera for all the attendees to see.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I
Super
need to
helpful.
understand exactly how remote support works versus what needs to be done physically here, right? I think at this point, I understand most everything can be remote. I just have to have certain things connected here, which I have the ability to do. I understand how to get it
Yeah,
functional and working, but
Yeah.
part of it is getting the
it
right
is.
hardware, right? So everything connects to, but it's just been a
It
gradual
is
process of it.
pretty easy to do, especially for, like if you have like an ATEM, for example.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you have it
Mhm.
all connected there is lots of options for people to remote into your systems. Is in there.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
And so as long as someone can remote in and you're willing to let them have control of whatever systems they need to have access to, then you're just
Okay.
pushing the buttons. That's what I do for several of my clients that have full studios with ATEMs and multiple cameras and
Okay.
vibe boards. I'm just remoted
Well, I
into
went
two or
with
three
the
machines on site and pushing the buttons.
Yeah, I went with the extremes so that I could have the side by side or the picture up in the corner.
Great.
Um, so if it was like an over the shoulder shot, right, up in the corner, or if I
Yeah.
wanted to like zero in on the vibe board, but I wanted to be able to like transpose, right?
Still
Did you
have
see
you
the
on it.
vibe board up close, or was it me standing so you could see I'm right, like the shot there? So anyway, we'll get there.
It's really cool.
Didn't make as much
Really cool.
progress the last week as I thought for this call, but I thought, well, I'll come and I'll start building while I listen. So I just keep turning off the camera when I keep going up and down the stairs and all the
Fair
things.
enough. That's great.
And then Laura, I also sent you a Facebook message with that intro to the stylus that we talked about last week.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have to say that's a little bit lower on my to-do list, but I understand
Fair enough.
how it plays into
I
the
would
bigger picture.
I would say potentially might want to bump it up on the higher priority, because one of the things that could help with is what colors make most sense for you to pop out for both your background to what you're wearing. And so that was one of the reasons for the intro, is to potentially help design that studio so it has all the right colors that make the most sense for you to have so that you pop off the screen and not the
Yeah.
outfit or not the background.
Well, I think part of this is I have the right colors and the white wardrobe, and I have done this right from executive presence. I just don't wear it on a day-to-day basis. I've allowed myself to get
Fair
really
enough.
casual. And so, but yeah,
Yeah.
to your point, like I understand that what I chose in terms of colors and drapes 4 or 5 years ago, is also probably I'm open to right it being changed. And then the biggest question was what I can do with just lighting to make the
Yeah.
the lighter gray work. And then honestly, I think I'm gonna do a switch. I want the lighter behind me. But when I was just living day to day, I didn't want the black in my front windows
Yeah.
because it is a little bit darker. So I need to put another layer so it looks white from the street. So you don't see my black curtains because it isn't lined white on the back. Because I
Yeah,
went
yeah,
with a
yeah, yeah.
cheaper, I went with a cheaper but a blackout because I didn't think it was ever going to be visible from the
Of
front. So
course.
I'm gonna get the 19-year-old up on ladders so that we can just switch because everything is the right lengths for me to swap. And then I do have two sections from when we had bookcases and like a filing cabinet in here from homeschooling days back at the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
That I didn't put, I have the tension rods to be able to continue the drape, like the curtains on all four walls, but I have two
Yeah, it's
sections
nice.
that are currently blank. where either we'll repaint the walls the right color. I'll either put artwork up in those sections for another angle or another look. Because like this whole wall over here is completely blank. That used to be 3 bookcases, right?
Right.
So I took the bookcases downstairs so that I could have a wall that I could start to reimagine. Like, did I want to hang a larger piece of art? So it wasn't necessarily using the vibe board to get some kind of imagery, or even like the televisions that you can put art, right? So
Yeah.
I may
Yeah.
bring one of those in from a bedroom and then put it on the wall, or I might put it on a stand because we're still not wanting to anchor everything necessarily into the walls, knowing that this at some point might turn back into a formal dining room.
I see. Yeah, right.
Especially when we keep talking about, are we going to sell the house? Or are we not going to sell the house?
Oh, right. Okay.
Seems to be a monthly conversation. And I'm like, oh, we've made a decision for the next 9 months of school. And then all of a sudden last week it started in again. And I'm like, all right, so I'm prioritizing maybe moving over a stylist at this moment. But anyway, life is lifing and I'm going to adapt. So
It's really
we'll just
good.
roll with it.
I like your thought processes. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I'm just having fun. It's like I can assemble it and then I can disassemble it. And if I'm on a call for 2 hours, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I disassemble it before I go to bed tonight, and then I'll practice reassembling it again.
Putting it back again. Yeah, fair enough.
So,
Exactly.
anyway.
And then one of the things too, because you mentioned like TV in the background. And
oh yeah.
One thing you have to be aware of with a lot of TVs is they have a shiny finish to the front for most of the TVs. And so all the lights will reflect off of those. And so they like the Samsung frame and a few other TV manufacturers make something similar to that are matte finished. They won't reflect back
one
off
that
your
is specifically
lights.
for not having the anyway. I hope I bought the right one for that exact purpose. So we'll see. I'll bring it in here, put it on a stand, and we'll see if it works or not. Otherwise, I'll go buy another.
One of the cool things that Muddy found, I don't have the link handy, but he actually found a TV cart that'll actually go up and down. So that could potentially be useful in your studio if you want to be able to go up and down, to be able to also raise that back TV up so the camera still looks correct.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about too, when Muddy was talking about putting kind of the station on wheels so you could do the angles. I'm curious if my current standing desk, if I could, I can engineer anything, right? Got a woodworking shop in the garage. But it's, I could, I think, rotate even the larger standing desk by putting it on wheels. And then I do have a smaller like presentation tripod that also is on wheels, and I can take it with a battery backup like anywhere outdoors. So that is another thing. Like if I'm speaking and I just want something either for a glass of water or an iPad to reference something, or to look at like if I wanted to look at the chat and like actually hold the iPad in my hand to engage, right? So they see that I'm looking at it instead of it just being like a monitor that over the shoulder shot, they can see that I see the chat. There's something about being able to even draw from the iPad if I don't want to go all the way to the whiteboard that I really liked as well. And then the light, right, for overshot, if I'm drawing on a piece of paper, or I have like a physical book that I want to show a page. So I just need to use this long width, and then maybe even another small table that'll be off on the side that I can get those specific shots. So anyway, we'll get it all set up. I'm going to over-engineer it, but I'm an engineer. So, this is what I do.
And here's a hack for you if your desk doesn't support wheels. Like the desk behind me, there's too much weight on it to actually support wheels on it. So it actually bent the frame. Yeah. But while I got around it, I have furniture movers under all 4 legs. So it still moves super easy. I don't even have to bring somebody in.
I have those too. Okay. So I could just put those and then, right. Because I do want to
they
put
work great
on the floor here. Rip out this carpet. It's been on my list for 23 years to do that. So maybe we'll finally get it done.
If you do, they make furniture movers that are meant for carpet that have plastic on the back, and they make felt ones meant for.
They're like big
they make
ovals.
them all kinds of sizes.
Yeah.
I have ovals. Great. I have big long rectangle ones, but they also make
the
felt
filing
ones.
cabinet out of here. I was able to get it out all on my own with those movers. So that's a good idea to just
if you-
permanently keep it
And
underneath
if
the
you do
desk.
rip
And
out
then I
that carpet, you end up with ripping out that carpet and putting hardwood in. They also
Yeah.
make felt furniture movers
Okay.
for that, because the plastic ones will actually scrape up tile and hardwoods. And last thing you want to do is put all kinds of scratch marks on your hardwood.
Yeah.
The
I got
felt
the
ones,
plastic ones because I did have carpet I was moving it on. But yeah,
Yep,
there is
exactly.
hardwood directly outside the store in the entry. So
Yeah, so
anyway,
it's always a good
we
thing
got
to
a
know, because
mixture of
that's the
flooring.
yeah. Yep. I've
Okay.
made that mistake on hardwood, and then had to go and scrub really hard to try to get rid of some scratches and some marks. And thankfully, it wasn't my floor.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank
good
you for
thing-
that reminder.
Good thing to know that they have the felt ones.
Okay, I will look into those.
Perfect. You're all set.
Thanks.
Irina, thank you for your patience. I saw you had a question about links and needed to give us a little bit more details.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Before I ask the question, I'll say I see John is here, so my compliments to John because he's patiently explaining to me. I'm often in chat with him about Obvio, of course, my favorite subject, Obvio. And I told him today I got frustrated with the links, so I'm asking. So last time we talked about it, and I will repeat again. So the link, I do one-on-one Zoom calls with people, right? And since I don't have my own Zoom, I'm using Obvio. And I copied the link in the right-hand corner that says copy sign up URL. I know that much. So I use this link for my Acuity scheduler, but every single time it gives me such a problem. So when I test it, it's all fine. When I test then it goes to basically problems. And today John and I discussed it, and he found that it was hyperlinked. So my first question would be, where did it come from? What does it mean, hyperlink? Because it was redirecting that link where I copied sign up URL from sign up page. It was redirecting people to sign up for the team in Obvio. And of course, that was a big problem because they couldn't get on my call. They didn't want to sign up as a team and all that. So that's the first one. Do you want me to ask the other one or?
Let's do one at a time so that I don't lose track of what we're working on. And so let me recap what I heard you say to make sure we're on the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
In Avio, you have the sign up page turned on and you're sending them that URL. Is that correct?
Right. In my scheduler, I have the link for everybody who schedules, they get this link. And they need to put their name and get through sign up page to me, to my Zoom meeting. Mm-hmm. But that link, John said it was hyperlink. I don't know even what that means. I mean, I know sort of, but why would it be redirected? And how do I trust now if I use the same link? He gave me two links and they look different a little bit. And he said they both work, which I trust him, of course. But how would I know myself if they won't give me a problem or if I want to copy it again? Why was it redirecting to the team? Hi, Grant.
Got it. So I think what happened is potentially at one point in time, you might have copied just the URL of the browser while you were on the sign up page within the Avio editor.
I did long time ago. Then I learned that I needed that button. Yeah.
And so then when you copied over the correct URL behind the scenes, all it actually updated was the text, but it left the actual, this text goes to this URL. The URL didn't change away from your sign up page. So in that email, if you literally click on the link, there's typically a button to update the URL and update the text. You click on that, it'll pop up a little window in whatever your editor is, and you can change the URL, or you can just delete the text and re-add it.
Okay, I'm not following. What button on what page?
So what CRM are you sending this email from? Is it coming from Avio or some other CRM?
Acuity, Acuity,
Acute. Okay. So
Acuity, scheduling.
got it. But in Acuity, the easiest thing to do, go in and edit those emails, delete what your actual sign up URL is, totally get rid of that text that's there, and then just copy it back in the right one, and you'll be set. And you
That's
can
what
get
I
the
did
right one by,
before.
I think you didn't delete the text. I think you highlighted the text and just pasted in, and Acuity was trying to be helpful.
Okay, I won't argue because I'm sure you, I mean, I know you know, but I usually delete and make the new one. But that's okay, I'll try. How do I know that it won't be hyperlink again?
Two ways. One, in the easiest way, right?
Mhm.
Send yourself a test email. Somewhere in Acuity should be have the ability to
Oh,
send a
no,
test
I've
email.
done
If
that.
not,
I've done testing. Of course, I've done testing. And I even asked my client to test for me. And everything was fine. But now everybody who comes, they don't know me. They all have problems with it for some reason.
Yep. Yeah, because the link somewhere got all
Yeah.
screwed up.
And John showed me that on the bottom in the left-hand corner, there is a longer link that obviously sends to the team. But how do I know? I tested it. I scheduled myself. I did.
So
Like I said, I asked client to do it the same way.
can
And
I
they
just
clicked
show
on the
you?
link.
I know that
Mhm.
I know that you're doing this not. I'm just showing you in this editor because
Okay.
it shows exactly what we're talking about, right? I just pasted this. I typed in google.com and it detected that it was a link, right? And this is really common with all of the systems. So it's created the link. If I look at it here and I go and look at the link is google.com. But there's nothing stopping, and this is what can happen, right? Is I can come in here and go, right? I've now changed that to yahoo.com, but the link is still google.com. And so
Mm.
so what has happened is I'm like, okay, I've changed it to yahoo.com. This should be fine now. You have to double check. Either you have to double check that that link is actually what you want it to be, because the reason it does this is if I wanted to just say I want to change the text to that, but the link
Right.
is still
Right.
Google, right?
But
That's
there
why
is no
we can
such thing
create
as
them.
in Acuity. I understand. Thank you. But there is no editor in Acuity. I just copy link and I post it there. So I went to Obvio on sign up page. I clicked that button that you have now. Perfect. Thank you. I clicked it and then I copied and pasted in the text. So I
Are
deleted the
you
old link and I posted the new one.
on a Mac or PC? You're Mac now, right?
Okay, Grant, only for you, I'll
There's
say.
a story.
On Friday, my 3-day event starts. I will be on Mac. So for the record, I'm saying it. So Mac is here next to me. It's all set
But
up for the event. I'm
but
on PC here.
you do your admin on PC, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, the thing that I would do, and that doesn't matter whether it's Mac or PC, the difference is I would go into Notepad. I would open Notepad and
Okay.
I'd make sure it's just in plain text mode, and I would build my email there so that it's not rich text in any way. Because
Mhm.
part of that problem can be when you paste in from somewhere else and it's saying, "Oh, that's a link. I'll add that as a link." And then I can't edit that link and it's trying to be clever. So to be sure, we go plain text, and I know by going into Notepad or text edit on Mac, we put it in plain text mode. We know that it's plain text, and now, I mean, yeah, and so now you build your email out with the links, and then you just paste that into Acuity, and then you say, now it'll go, oh, it's plain text, but I'm detecting that that's a link, and so I'm now making it a link, and that's now the sign up link. So
Mhm.
somewhere along the line, process of pasting, it's trying to be clever. It's got confused, and I think it's included an old link and over the text, and so plain text tends to help with that. There is also depending on your browser, there's also paste and match style, and some of them even have like paste as plain text as an option as well. When you go to the edit menu, paste as plain text, or paste special, paste as plain text. So if you do that, you're just then sure that it's not being clever and trying to, include a link behind it. And then, of course, as you've said, you then do your tests and you see how all that goes. But that's where I think something's gone awry there, is it's just gotten confused. Because, yeah, if there's no edit link option or anything, you can't right click on it and say edit link or anything like that, then I think it's just inherited it from how it's been copied in.
Mm. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
I have another
Sorry
question.
that happened.
Well, you better be sorry. It gave me a lot of frustration. No, you're not sorry. I know that. You're just enjoying life.
I never want to upset the Russians. All right. It's how.
Yeah. Right. Good point. So the next question is, because of my frustration, I decided, okay, maybe, well, I already explained before, I just want to show off with Obvio beautiful dashboard. That's why I want this sign up page, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But because I got all frustrated with it, I was thinking maybe green room, as I say, direct access with bypassing the dashboard to the Zoom. If I send that link if I put this in a Acuity scheduler and anybody can get this link and then they go to the page. If I did not set them up prior when they scheduled, I could set them up in Obvio as an attendee with the name and the email, right? If I do that, will they still get the sign up page? Will they just bypass the dashboard, but they still have to sign up? Because I checked it and it showed me the sign up page.
So let me answer it this way. If someone has been in their browser, if they've successfully gone to the dashboard, no matter how they got there.
No, the first time.
I know. I'm just saying that however someone gets to the dashboard, if you go to the sign up page, it'll redirect them back to the dashboard because they're already signed in. And so that means if they've gone through the sign up page on day one, when they come back on day two, it'll take them straight to the dashboard, even though they've gone to the sign up page.
I'm not talking about my event. I'm talking about one-on-one Zoom, which I only have like 30 minutes, 20 minutes with people. So it's just, usually people use Calendly. I have Acuity. And instead of Zoom that I canceled because I have Obvio. So I'm using Obvio, as you know, for everything. Yes. That's why they're not coming the second time. This is just one time connection meeting.
Okay. So what's your question?
So the question is, if let's say I got their name and before they come to the meeting,
I see.
I set them up already. I input everything, right? They're already attendees I don't need them to check in or anything like that. All I need them to get to the meeting, right? But if I couldn't trust this stupid link, I'll try. But if I get frustrated again, this stupid link, and I will use the green. So I just want to understand, if I use that direct access link, will it still make them sign up on the page? Like put your name, put your email, but then they don't see my beautiful dashboard.
Yes. You want them to see the dashboard or you don't?
I really do, but I don't want them to sign up. but I don't want to send them magically. It's complicated. I'm very creative.
Why don't
I
you,
think
if
I'll
you're,
just
if,
get the Zoom and start with it like everybody else with
well,
Zoom.
exactly. Well, and I will say a little bit of I told you so. Because
No,
be-
because no, Obvio has enterprise quality. Obvio gives me
uh,
the transcripts that I use all the time with AI. Hey, Obvio is set up already in a nice way. I spent how many years to do all this, to learn
I'm
this?
not sa- I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that it takes a bit of work and to get this, to work around it, to make it work for one-on-one meetings. It's not what it's designed for, but it can be done. So, and that's what I mean by I told you so. Because at some point, it's like, oh, I just want to send a Zoom link to someone. Why can't I just send a Zoom link?
I know, right?
Because you
But
don't have a Zoom account. But
I have my invitation to my network. I have my free gift and it's all on dashboard so they can see it. It's all marketing.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, explain to me because it sounds like what you just said was that you're happy to set them up within Ovio and then send them a link. So why wouldn't you
Mhm.
just send them the magic link? Is that not possible?
Yeah, yeah, but they also want reminders, I'm sure. And I don't want to send reminders.
And that's why you're doing it through Acuity.
Through
And that
Acuity.
needs to be the same. That needs to be the same link. It can't be a different link.
Yeah, because it's all automated. Mhm.
Okay. Well, then they need to sign up.
Right.
As in, you
So,
want to keep
but I
that
want to
link.
understand, will they get to the sign up page? Is it direct access to the
Yes.
Zoom still through the sign up page, right?
It's
So
two
no
different
matter what,
things.
they have to put their name and email, right?
It's two
That's the
different things,
question.
but it's two different things that has a very similar experience. So when we talk about a direct access link, it's
Mhm.
taking them to a page where we need first name, last name, and email, and then they click join and it goes straight to Zoom.
That was my
This
question. Yeah.
the sign up page is a
Mhm.
similar experience. The only
Takes them
difference
to
is
the
taking
dashboard.
them to the dashboard and not into
Yeah.
Zoom. So you have to decide on which one you want.
Oh, no,
Both
no,
of them
no.
are the same link.
No, I wanted direct without them signing up, but they still have to sign up. I want I don't know what I want. I'm very creative, like I said, in
Well,
my own way.
yeah, it sounds like you want the experience of your own Zoom account, but through Obvio.
I guess
And
so, yeah.
right now, the advantage that you are getting by doing this is that their name is correct when they come in. So by going through the direct access link and saying first name, last name, email, that first and last name is what will appear in Zoom.
Mhm.
So it's not going to be iPad or, oh, sorry, that's my wife's name or that's my husband, whatever, right? It was like, oh, that's the business account or whatever. You get all these random names that come into Zoom. That doesn't happen when they do it this way because you have their actual first name and last name and you know exactly who it is. So if you have the waiting room on or whatever, you can see exactly who the person is. So that is an advantage. And you're also able to track that and see that in your Zoom attendance. So without doing that and just having a link that just comes in, you don't you miss out on that individual data.
But they still
Um,
sign up. That's what you said. There is still sign up page. So when they enter through that
yeah.
direct access link, they still have to put their name and their my email, right?
Yes.
So their name will still be there.
No, I'm
I,
comparing this to a Zoom account, your own Zoom account,
Uh,
where
mm,
you have, and that's what I'm saying, where you don't have registration turned on or anything, and now it's
mm.
just join this Zoom link. It's going to
Oh, I
join
see.
as
I see.
whatever it is. Whereas going
I'm not
through
even
Obvio,
thinking about
you have
Zoom.
that
I'm
advantage.
thinking about Obvio.
Okay, all right, very good. I don't
Okay.
know. there is a advanced level move that I'm going to check that works first. Should do.
So while you're doing that, Grant, one of the things you could do, Irina, is connect your Acuity scheduling to Active Campaign and have Active Campaign workflows doing all of the emails, because then you could set up that to automatically add them into Avio. You could get their magic link. You could be sending out the magic link and totally skip over the sign up page. The spot you're stuck
Oh,
right now is Acuity doesn't directly tie to Avio, so there's no way to do a
mhm,
custom email per person. But if you were,
mhm.
there's actually a help article I can drop in that walks you through
Oh,
for
that's
Active
great.
Campaign how
Yeah,
to
thank
actually
you.
do that
Thank you.
setup. Yeah, and it can, there's triggers for when an appointment's scheduled, a rescheduled, a canceled, a changed. Sounds like you could probably
Would
do a
it
bunch of
be
Active Campaign workflows.
automation or is autoresponders? Automation, right? The
It'd be
no, no,
automation
though.
ultimately. And then the forget what they call it in Active Campaign, but it's basically the trigger, the thing at the very top of the work or the automation that says,
Right,
how do
right,
you get
right.
in
That's
there?
automation with the trigger, huh?
Yep.
And what trigger would it
Yep.
be? Acuity?
Probably an Acuity trigger would be my
Mhm.
guess. I'm not an Active Campaign user. They just happen to have the article I dropped into the chat,
Okay.
but I can see that it can track 4 events. It's the appointment scheduled, rescheduled, canceled, or changed. So that should give you enough to do the individual
Oh, that's perfect.
automations, which is exactly
Mhm.
probably what you're doing in Acuity. And you just move the emails over and have a step in there that adds them automatically into Avio.
Perfect. Thank you. If I would ask AI about it, how would I ask? The Acuity well, I'll guess I will ask Acuity connects to Obvio through active campaign, right?
What I asked
Yeah,
in my Google search was, is there how to integrate Acuity scheduling to Active Campaign? I remembered
got
you
it.
had used Active Campaign. I thought, I bet you there's a way. And if there is, then you have the direct way to get the magic link and everything and avoid the sign up. But
Got
that
it.
was my suggestion. I know, Grant, you were looking at something as well.
Thank you, Justin. That was great.
That's a really good one because it'll work
Yeah.
once you get that set up. It'll work every time.
Okay.
Uh, the other one is essentially like pre-filling the sign up page. And so if we have this is a direct link, but it works the same. You can actually add in here. See what I just added there? First name equals, last name equals, email equals. And
Mm-hmm.
now when we do that, it still needs the click the link, but the fields are populated. And from Acuity, you may be able to add URL parameters to the link. You might not be able to, I don't know, but it could be that you can just include their first name and last name and email, as you might already have that from the booking,
Mm-hmm.
and then pass that through, and now it's populating it automatically. It's just another idea, but it means that
That's a great
they
idea.
still click the link. They still click the link, but it's populated. So
And that would be the dashboard or without dashboard, direct
any
access room or sign up page.
anything um, that would also work with Sing Up.
So you just add something to the URL.
Uh-huh. Do that.
And how do I know what to add? How do you know what to add?
Look, the amount of knowledge that I have
Oh
about a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
things, Irina, like
yeah,
it would blow your mind.
yeah. I agree.
If I
Yeah.
downloaded what I know, your mind would explode.
Well, same with you in my field.
True that. Exactly.
31 years in my field, so your mind would explode too. So we'll be both with exploded
That's true.
minds.
I feel like you could just think about it and you could make my mind explode. Um, so uh, I've just posted it in the chat. That's
Mhm.
the URL parameters, is what they're called. And so obviously you remove the Fred and the Flintstone and the email Fred at Flintstone.
But I will
And
have
you
to do it every time for everybody. Everybody.
No. So what would happen is, and I don't know, you'd have to find this, and this would be something that um, AI can help you with, is whether it's even possible to be able to use, like if I was, I'll show you as an example in here again. If I was trying to do this, not that I would try to do it in here, but as an example, if I was building this out, what I would do here, now I've got the link as well. Hang on, let me just help myself here a little bit. Okay, all right, you'd be clever then. What I would do, this is the type of stuff that we're doing, right? Is that we're saying that, and then we're saying that. And so in Acuity, there would be a way of essentially it's like a merge field, or like a mail merge idea. And so there might be a way of passing the first name, the last name, and the email from the booking form, and it hands
Mhm.
that over. And I would be surprised if they don't have a way to do that. You just have to get it in this combination. What the variance will be is that it the way that it does this merge field could be completely different. It might have different bracket system, and it could be how it references the first name field could be something completely different as well. But that's the specific. So so essentially what it's then doing is before that, when that email sends, it replaces these placeholders with the real data, and that's what they click on. And so
Mhm.
it's finding out what those placeholder names are. So it's another idea,
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much.
because I trusted you with an advanced level move because you've been here from the start.
Well, I have ate them extreme like Laura has. Well,
There you go.
that's something, right? And
The
then the
A10
mic
Club.
stops working again. The more tech
Good.
we have, the more problems we have. I believe you now.
You've had a night. Well, that's true. There's a middle
Yeah.
ground there somewhere. But
Yeah.
you've got
I
it set up.
removed one TV and I feel so good. My studio got bigger suddenly. I have only one left and the rest is out. So that was good. It's also
Very
on,
nice.
as you were talking to Laura, it's on a thing that you lift and move
Yep,
up and down.
that's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah,
And Rena, to
no
round
problem.
out this conversation, I dropped another link in chat for you. It
Mhm.
took a while to find this, lots of searches.
Yeah,
But
right.
these are the actual merge
Nice
fields
work.
that appears in Acuity. So between grants and showing you what the URL would be in that article, you could replace, whereas he said Fred for the first name and Flintstone for the last, with the percent first percent and percent last percent and percent email percent. It appears you'll have to test it. I don't have an Acuity account, so I was just searching their help
Yeah,
for you.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you both.
Does that
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
makes that makes sense? It's the percent first percent. So you just replace Fred with that, Flintstone with the
Okay.
last. Yep. Have a little
Definitely
test of
bookmark
that.
that article. It took a lot to find
Yeah,
that article, shockingly.
right.
Every one of their like how to build a dynamic URL did not link over to that page whatsoever.
Oh,
It
right.
didn't have any examples of
Yeah.
dynamic names. It had first coded John and Doe for the first and last name instead of actually
And I
showing you the
wouldn't
merge
even know
fields.
to say dynamic name. I wouldn't even know what to ask. That's why I asked, what do I ask about it? Okay, dynamic
I didn't either.
name.
I
didn't.
explained it in English and of what I was trying to
Yeah.
do multiple times, and Google kept sending me to dynamic links pages, and then finally
I know.
I just searched inside of the Acuity help
Oh,
docs.
so
and
it's not a dynamic link. What is it then? What's the name of
it
it?
ultimately ends up being a dynamic link, but the
Hmm.
Acuity help
Saying
docs
placeholders.
don't
yeah.
have any links over to say how do you get the first name. Like all their examples were hard coded names, and you're like, I don't want everybody's name to be filled out as John Doe. Like I want their
Right.
real names.
No, that's
Yes.
right.
So that article I pasted will should hopefully give you the real names. Hopefully.
Very cool.
But give it a try, and if it doesn't work, then you can go the other route and do all the
Bad luck.
connections and workflows. But Grant's route, I would say, is the easier one because it would work right out of the box today if you can get that dynamic link working right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm done
Yeah.
with my terrorizing you. I finished with John today, terrorizing John, and I'm done with you guys.
Yeah, Irina, I just made it for you. So if you copy that, and then actually, I guess you'd need your one by one, get your one by one link in there at the start, and then that's what it needs to be. First name equals percent first. Last name
What do
equals
you mean? For
percent last.
sign up page needs to be before the question mark?
Yeah, and you want it to be the direct link or the a sign up page? You want them to go to the dashboard, right?
I would like, yeah, if I can. Mhm.
Since you spent so much time making it beautiful.
That's right.
So I've been talking for a couple of hours, so I'm getting a bit more sassy.
Well, I used to be in Sassy's mastermind, by the way. Lisa Sasevich, 3 years. Yeah, we were on Planet Sassy. Mhm.
Fair enough. I'm just writing it now. I'll make it all for you, so then it's done. You can at least try it then.
I threw it out there already, Grant.
Okay, yeah. Sweet. Oh, you haven't got sign up in there, dude.
You're right. Let's put the sign up in.
I hope John is listening because I'm sure
is.
I will get back to John to verify everything and he'll be helping me again. He's laughing. Okay, hi,
Yeah,
John.
there you go. Yeah.
Thank you. Make sure you've learned this if you didn't know. So do I copy this one?
Yeah, the final one that should work.
Okay. Because that's what I usually
Yeah.
do. I'll ask questions here and then John gets the rest of it.
I've tested it, and all the placeholders appear. So if it comes from Acuity, it should populate those.
Okay. Perfect.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else on this extended time? We're all good.
All good.
Great. All right. Thank you, everyone. Based on the success of this week, we'll do it again next week.
Sounds
We'll
great.